Good morning, everyone. I'm Deborah Rose with the talk show in beautiful Payson, Arizona. I work with Realty One Group located at 602 West Main Street and have a website, paysonazproperties.com. I want to first thank Mr. Cameron Davis behind the camera with Razor Thin Media for producing this wonderful show. And today we've had a slight change of venue, obviously. We are going to reschedule the septic interview until next month. So we'll have Doug Disbrow and Levi Brownlee on the last Friday of September. So please join us for that show. I thought I would take an opportunity here as a realtor and an expert statistician with the real estate market to educate you, the general public, on what is happening in the general real estate industry, but especially locally. What is happening with the market? Where are we? What trends are developing? And we'll cover some numbers. And it's going to be very eye-opening. So I'd first like to say that I was able and had the great gift of running the food drive for the Board of Realtors. We have changed our name here to the Central Arizona Association of Realtors, and our new website is CAARAZ.com. Caring Realtors. How cool is that? And thanks to Cameron Davis for redesigning everything on that. I'm going to put up a flyer just momentarily, and then I'm going to discuss the food drive first, and then we'll dive into the real estate stats for you, okay? So we are in the midst of our annual, it's our 8th annual food drive, and we have a flyer for you. We do this every year because the food banks in the area, we have 4, go dry this time of year because everyone's busy and doing their own family things. So we decided to step in the gap from August, September, and October to bring awareness to the general public on what is needed for the Payson area food drive and the food banks. So if you would please join us in helping to eliminate hunger, we'd be ever so grateful. We do have food boxes in every single real estate office by now, I think, in Payson, Pine, Strawberry, Christopher Creek, or even Tunnel Basin. So if you can support this great endeavor, we would very much appreciate it. And we've got some interesting things that we're doing this year that we've never done before, like we're doing a drive-through drop-off food drive on, let's see, September, I think it was on that, September 18th and October 30th. We are going to be in front of the ERA Young Realty Building at 424 South Beeline Highway and in front of 611 South Beeline Highway, which is Realty Executives Arizona territory. And you can just drive up, hand us a bag of non-perishable food, and we'd be so grateful. So bear that in mind. If you are a senior or someone who's disabled or maybe can't get out and you want to participate, we're also going to do a door pickup. So please let us know if you'd like to participate in that. You can contact Bonnie Doris, who's our current CAR president, at 928-978-5183 to get more information on that. And then we also have a shred-a-thon, but we can't disclose the exact date just yet. So please join us. We'd love to, our goal this year is 40,000 pounds of food. Cash donations are better because the food bank people can actually get double the amount of food for $1. So $1 equals 1 pound of food if you bring in cans, but if you bring in cash, then that amount doubles. So it's 2 pounds of food for $1. So please consider even making your cash donations. Okay, enough of that announcement. I want to also invite you to ask questions if you have any questions about where the real estate market is. But here I go. Last year, we had what I dubbed the rural rush. Thanks to the COVID situation, what happened is a lot of people wanted to work from home and were able to start working from home. And so instead of living in the cities, they started moving their families to rural areas. So we experienced a market like we have never seen before. And to give you an example, day to date this year, from January 1st to August 27th, this year we've sold 106 homes. Compare that to last year, 2,157 homes were sold last year during the same time frame. So you can see there's this big difference in home sales from year to year. Now it's slowed down. Why? Well, we sold most of the inventory last year. So now we lack the inventory to sell to the demand. And what has happened is high demand, low supply drives the prices up. So last year at this time, 300 and, let's see, I gotta look at the comps here, the stats. Last year at this time, the average for sale, the sold price was $372,692. The average day on market was 94 days on market. But get this, the average sold price per square foot, $336. That's staggering. This year, the prices have been driven up because of the low supply, high demand, to the average sold price of $413,442. That's an 11% increase year over year, and that's a very high increase for Payson. The sold per square foot, however, is dropping and has dropped to $227 a square foot. But as buyers, don't let that fool you, because we have had homes that have actually sold for $763 a square foot. That's unheard of. $400 a square foot has become in the last year normal almost. But now we're seeing things change. So what's going on now is we are shifting from a red hot seller's market to a cool down phase where we're seeing the prices now start to come down. And many of you may have seen that when you're doing your searches online, and that is very, very true. So sellers are learning that the market has cooled. The buyers are refusing to pay top dollar because they're fearful that the market may change. And if you look at the national landscape of what's going on in America and internationally, fear is starting to set in. And when fear starts to set in, people cool their jets and go, you know what, I don't want to get caught paying top dollar prices in case the market does start to slide. No one has a crystal ball. I am not predicting a slide. I just want to be very clear. As incoming president of our Central Arizona Association of Realtors, it's going to be my job to communicate to the general public and to our phenomenal realtor base what can be expected and what to prepare for in this market and help people transition. Because it's no longer the sellers are getting whatever they want market. It's a now we got to go back to negotiating real estate prices, which I feel is a very healthy thing. So, having said that, do we have a question, Cameron?
Yeah, so as a home buyer who has given up hope on finding a reasonably priced home, can you give them any advice on what to do?
That's a very good question, and that speaks to what I was...
So maybe re-say that they may not have heard that question.
Okay, so the question is, as a home buyer, home buyers have given up hope of finding affordable housing and reasonably priced homes. So what should they do? Well, it depends on your situation. If you're going to be homeless and you don't have a home, and there's no rentals in this town, by the way, you may have to surrender to the price points within reason. The good news is the mortgage rates are still at historic lows. Going the rental route is really not a good option because the rental rates have skyrocketed, and I'll show you a quick graph of this. I gotta put my glasses on so I can see which graph it is. But rents are soaring, and you may not be able to see the numbers here, but you can see this is the normal rental market, and then all of a sudden it's skyrocketed. Why? Because high median home prices are forcing people to have to rent because they've been priced right out of the market. The greatest concern and need we have in America, but especially here locally in Payson, is housing for the working class. And we have got to find a solution for that. I have some ideas. I am working with certain people in this community, but we need the land to do it. And hopefully the town of Payson can flush up some land for us at a reduced rate so we can start putting in some affordable housing. So as a home buyer, you either have to be patient, wait out the market a little bit. The market is correcting. It is starting to go in the buyer's favor, not to any great degree, but subtly. You can either wait just a little bit more or just understand that the average mortgage payment has risen nationally. And I even have a graph for that right here. Let's see. You can see right here on this graph, this is the average mortgage in America, and that's fairly steady. But this is the value of the homes. Red, these are record high real estate evaluations. So most sellers know that the value of their property has been going up and up and up and up. So either inflation is going to kick in, and it is, by the way, there's the chart. Look at it, it's going up and up. So we've got inflation prices going up. Prices for general items in America are going up, and I'm going to read you a couple of things to give you an example. So the correction is happening on a multitude of levels. When the inflation prices go up, that means the market's going to slow down. Used cars from 12 months ago have gone up 42%. If you are a bacon lover, bacon prices have gone up 8%. Just saying, it's kind of a gasoline, 42% increase since last year. And everything is just going up. Laundry, if anyone's tried to buy a washer lately, or dryer, 18%. And manufacturing has slowed down there. So now we're starting to see inflation kick in. So what that indicates is the market is slowing down, which is true through this, the stats, and the opportunities will increase for buyers as long as the inventory rises. And I've got good news for that. That's another thing that's happening. We now, in our current MLS, have an active residential available home market of 158 homes. That's really high. 6 months ago, we had 40. We average about 40 a month. The pendings, pending means homes that are under contract and going through the inspection process and all of those things, the appraisal process. The pending market, currently in Payson, 167 homes are pending or under contract. So active listings, pending listings, when the pendings supersede the actives, that's telling you that our absorption rate is very low. And absorption rate means, well, how long will a house stay on the market? Last year it was 94 days. Today it's 74 days. And what that means is from the time the house is listed on the market until the time it closes is extremely short. So the demand is still high. The buyer demand is still high. And the inventory is still too low. So what that translates to me as a realtor is we have 1.7 months of inventory on the market. So if the buyers aren't ready to move and execute quickly on offers, you're just going to have to wait for the next round of available inventory. So speaking to buyers, you either have to accept the reality that you may have to pay a little bit more for a home, but the interest rates are still low, and there's a big difference between home ownership and renting. Now, I don't know if anyone has discussed what the wealth difference is between if you're solely a renter to becoming a homeowner. This is staggering right here. I don't know if Cameron can hold this up, but wealth comparison. If you are a renter in 2021, your wealth, the average household has approximately $8,000 in a bank, okay, in the bank. So you can see Here's the wealth comparison way down here for renters. In 2019, the average renter had $6,300 available to them in the bank. When you purchase a home, okay, 2019, a renter had $6,300. 2019, a homeowner averaged $255,000. Homes are considered assets. Homes are a great way to make money because you're not flushing your money down the toilet anymore. It's like the safest bank account in the world to have at this time. 2021, there's $8,000 for a renter, but if you were to buy a home in this market, your value, your wealth indicator goes up to $297,000. This is across the board in the nation. So home ownership is something that our economy, our national economy is based upon. Home ownership for you is the best value you can have in your life. So I would say to buyers, and I exercise caution, know your financial situation, be realistic. And most good lenders are very realistic now. They qualify you, they make sure that your debt to income ratios are in check, and that you are able to get a mortgage payment that you can afford. And if you can do it, I would always recommend that you purchase a home. Yes.
So, is there a particular better area in Rim Country to look for a home, and what are the prices or values in those areas?
Wow. That's a loaded question. Okay, I'm gonna have to stick more generic, but that's a very good question.
So maybe restate what the question is.
So the person is asking what the values are in different areas of Rim Country. And that's a very big question. Our MLS covers over 200 square miles. We go all the way up to past Heber Overguard, we go up to Happy Jack, we go down to Roosevelt Lake and Tunnel Basin area, and everything in between. So let me just give you some current stats, okay? I break things down in Payson in quadrants. We have 4 quadrants in Payson. Payson Northeast, Payson Southeast, Payson Northwest, Payson Southwest. And how you delineate that is we basically have a cross going right through town. Beeline Highway going north and south, and then the 260 going east, and then Longhorn going to the west. So the quadrant is Payson Northwest up here, Payson Southwest by Green Valley Lake, Payson Northeast behind the Bashes area, and Payson Southeast on the lower perimeter below McDonald's, okay? So every area is different. We also have 2 gated communities, Chaparral Pines and the Rim Club. So their price points are going to be radically different than other areas, okay? And let me just reduce it to this. I'll do my best. If you need and if you want a value on your home, feel free to reach out to me through my website or my email, and I will get back to you. Please understand, realtors are under great demand right now, and I want to speak about that in just a minute. But just to give you an idea, and I want to be accurate here, what's staggering is the value of manufactured homes has skyrocketed across the board in every quadrant of Payson and outside of Payson. You're looking at a 40 to 50% increase on prices just on manufactured homes. So that's really good news for homeowners there. Okay, so Payson Northeast, year to year, I'm talking January to August 2020 to 2021. In Payson Northeast, your property value may have, and I'm going to say may because it depends on how well you've been taking care of your property and how many upgrades you've done and all those kind of things, increased 34%. That's huge in a 12-month period. Massive. We've never seen increases like this before. Payson Northwest, 24%. Payson Southeast, 50%. This is this area over here by Green Valley Lake, folks. Big eye opener on that one. Payson Southwest, oh, excuse me, that's the other side. This is Payson Southwest, sorry. Erase that. That's the other side. Payson Southwest, 11%. Star Valley, 21%. Tono Basin, or no, Strawberry, get this, Strawberry, 48% price increase. Tono Basin, 8%. Young, Arizona, 83%. Pine is 27% increase year over year. That is incredible numbers. And that's why the market has to slow down. We can not sustain this kind of extreme price increase in the market, because one thing has been happening, and the tragic result of this happening is the working class are being forced right out of the area. So if you're complaining about businesses not being open or the service being crummy, well, we're all struggling finding employees. And you tell me where we can put families that basically make total, both working families, hopefully making somewhere between $20 and $30 an hour, can afford a mortgage of over $2,000 a month. Debt to income ratios are tilted. Lenders won't let it happen. So we've got a crisis here that hopefully we can resolve as a community. Once you get up on the rim, Happy Jack, those prices have increased significantly as well. So really, we're not escaping. If I look at Forest Lakes, 85% increase. Christopher Creek, 36% price increases. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's just mind-blowing. So, having said that...
So here's one question I have. What is driving this?
So what is driving this? Good question. Well, I think fear. I think fear started it with the COVID virus that we all and still are experiencing. People got really afraid. People couldn't work anyway. We're seeing a national shift in how we do business, and people had more flexibility with their jobs. So if I'm a young family raising my children down in Phoenix, and now both parents can work from home and raise their kid in a rural community, which is in most buyers' minds safer, we're more friendly. We're definitely more friendly. I know that for a fact. They want to live here, and so we saw a huge demographic shift in Payson, where for the first time ever we had an abundance of young families coming in, which is awesome. That's exactly what we need, because if you've listened to any of my commentaries or read, the relocation guides that I used to do, our demographic buyer, the average demographic buyer, is about 62 years old. So our market is defined with about 60% retirees, 30% secondary home buyers, meaning they want the cabin in the woods. They turn those usually into Airbnb. So there's 90% of the market right there. 10% is left over for the working class. So we as a community, I really want to continue to work on building homes in affordable fashion that will keep the price points in check, and we'll be able to keep those resale values in check. And I know a way to do it, and so we're going to work on that as a problem-solving issue, okay, in the future. So that, I hope, helps you understand the real estate market a little bit better. Another national trend developing that is serious. By the way, what I'm showing you on these graphs is from Lawrence Yun, and he's the economic expert for the National Association of Realtors, okay? I want to give him credit because this is the data that he's put together from a national perspective. And the most fascinating thing that I learned last week is this. This is a graph this represents live births in America. This represents the death rate in America. And the years are down here. And for the first time, I can't say in the history of America, because I don't know, and I don't know if anyone's been really tracking this for very long, but for the first time ever in 2021, the death rate has met the birth rate. So what this could indicate, I'm not saying it's going to, but what this could indicate is we could see demand for housing really start to drop. If we don't have the birth rate up and this death rate doesn't continue its escalation, we could, in the next generation, I'm talking about 20 years down the road, see the market take a turn. I don't know what's gonna happen, but isn't that interesting? For the first time ever, these two meet. So just data. I'm a data expert. I love seeing what's developing in the real estate market, and I also want to speak to you about real estate trends and why it's becoming more and more crucial for the consumer to use a licensed local realtor in an area. I know a lot of people believe, thanks to what's going on in advertising, and we're seeing huge companies like Open Door and Zillow and Purple Brick and Red Brick and all these cash buying entities. I know a lot of people are getting a lot of solicitors calling them, saying that they will pay cash, no stress, no hassle, cheaper than realtors. I'm telling you, it's a bald-faced lie. They are lying to you. And I've got plenty of witnesses that have gone through this process that can back up what I'm saying. They are more expensive. They are looking for desperate people, and they want to get your house cheaper so they can flip it. They can buy it cheap, put a little money into it, flip it, and make all the money on your property. So good realtors protect your home ownership rights and help protect the values on your home. Make no mistake about it. Use a local realtor that lives and breathes and does their business, raises their kids in this community 7 days a week. We know the market a lot better than outlying realtors coming into the area, and you need protection. I don't go sell property in Phoenix because I do not know that market. I am not an expert in that market, but I am an expert here. And experts protect your interest. We do all the paperwork. We're great counselors. We just protect your interests, both buyers and sellers. So I really want to encourage people not to, what do I call that? I have a name for it. Don't die with the lie. Check with your favorite realtor, put your trust in them, and let them do their job. Like, we're really good at what we do, and we pour into this community in ways that you probably don't know. You know, we support high school scholarships. We give away two $2,500 scholarships a year to our high school seniors who really worked really hard at you know, doing well for themselves. And we support the Timeout Shelter, we support the Senior Center, we support the Elks Club Thanksgiving dinner, we do local food drives. There's dozens and dozens of things that we do for the community. And legally, on the political realm, we are always protecting and working with legislators on watching the bills that they're trying to slide through that would give you tax rate hikes and things that you're oblivious to. So we're always working and fighting for you, and I want you to know that there's great value in using a licensed local real estate agent in our community. Another question?
No, can I actually just make a comment?
Okay.
That's all right. So I know you, excuse me, I know you can't see me I'm off camera, but we have used Deborah several times to purchase our homes, and every time we have been protected and had the opportunity to get the best deal. So she's absolutely right as far as working with a licensed realtor in this area that knows the area, knows the pricing, knows the homes especially, and what is a good deal and what is not a good deal. So just that little plug that we've come out on the other side of every real estate transaction we've ever done, and it was because of Deborah and her expertise. So
Yeah, thank you. Wow, that was, you know, make me cry. That is so nice. And you know what it really boils down to in closing is it's about relationships. And if I treat you like my family, or your favorite realtor treats you like family, and they advise you as if you were their family, you do know that your best interest is protected. And that's the ultimate satisfaction for me as a realtor. It's not about the money. It's about protecting the consumer. And as incoming president of our board, it's an honor and a privilege to communicate things that we're going to be doing in the community, changes in the real estate market, and giving you accurate information so you can make better, more informed decisions for you and your family. So if you would once again consider visiting our new website, it's wonderful, www.caaraz.com, careaz.com. You can look up the food drive information there. Cameron just redeveloped that website. It's phenomenal. It's so exciting. Go there, learn more, jump in. We'd love to embrace you into our community. If you're new to the area, welcome. We're so happy to have you. And there's so many great things to tap into in our community. If you are watching from out of country or out of Arizona State, go to discovergilacounty.com. Learn about the area. It's breathtaking. You will be so amazed. This is the best community I've ever lived in my whole life. And we love others, and we want to engage with you on a level that hopefully you've never experienced before, because our ultimate goal is to protect you. So thank you for joining the show today. Is there a question?
how do we contact you?
How do you contact me? Well, good question. You can always Google my name. I'm really easy to find, but I have a website. It's on this banner right here, but I'm going to tell it to you. It's www.paysonaz, for Arizona, properties, plural.com. PaysonAZproperties.com. I do have an office at 602 West Main Street. Please call and set an appointment. I'm at 928-478-2000. If you'd like to know the value of your home, I'd be happy to help you. Or if you already have an agent that you know and trust, please go to them. They want to help you. And I really thank you for joining us today. Thank you again to Cameron Davis of Razor Thin Media. And it was a pleasure to do the show by myself. Hopefully you've learned a lot. That was the whole point of it. And we'll see you again next month with Doug Disbrow and Levi Brownlee.